Just kind of run down what we're doing today. Yura and Max have been working on washing some carrots, cutting them into chunks, and then running them through our French fry cutter, you might say, and then putting it in the freezer. These were carrots that were dug up on Monday, I think it was. So they've been sitting out for a little bit. We don't want to put them down in the cellar because then they'll rot much quicker. They've been sitting up here. So the guys have been kind of going through that process. And while they're doing that, I'm working on the linens. We knew a while back that there was a leak on the back side of the brick heating element in the other room, and it runs the smoke through the wall to radiate into both rooms. Well, there was a crack and a whole bunch of smoke came into the clothing room. And kind of knew what was going on, but we weren't really pressed for any of the clothes or any of those kind of things. Well, I went over there about 2 weeks ago, and part of the ceiling had fallen down. And this house is about 100 years old. The walls and ceiling are made of horse manure, clay, and hay. And we've known that there's a time limit on this house. We put columns up to hold the ceiling up, but this is in a separate room. So this caused a dilemma for me, and I kind of waited until I had time. And we took all the clothes out of there, all of the bed sets, and I have been washing clothes for a week and a half, probably 10 loads a day, so well over 100 loads, just trying to get everything washed. Upstairs now we have all the men's clothes sorted out, work clothes versus nice clothes, and then large, medium, and small. And now I'm working on putting the bedding together because we finally got everything dried. And so just kind of to show you a little bit of some of the small details that we have to do here at the center. If we had a number of men, I would probably be teaching a man how to do this, but don't have one that can handle it right now, so I'm doing it. And we put it together in a specific format so that when the guys open it up, it's right there. What's on top goes first onto their bed. And so we want several layers between the mattress and the men. Edie, just problem. That was, you're sneaking in. And two pillowcases on the pillow, those kind of things, just to protect our pillows and our mattresses as long as possible. So what I've done is I've taken all the bedspreads and have folded them in a certain pattern. White sheets, the duvets, which they use here, they tend to use just a flat sheet and then a duvet. So it's a little bit different than our systems, but what we do is we have them put a white sheet down on the bed covering majority of it. Then they use the flat sheet that's colored over that, and then they put the sheet with the elastic in it over that. So we've got several layers between their bodies and the mattress. And because it's kind of warm right now, the guys aren't necessarily using their duvets. There's no blankets in them. But Ukrainians tend to like things warmer than Americans do. We're used to that air conditioning everywhere we go, and they don't really have that here. So anyway, I thought I'd let you see kind of how we put them together. So these are my bedspreads. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a duvet now. And I tend to kind of choose the ones that match a little bit, so they're not just like really crazy color matches. So the last thing the guy will put on his bed will be the bedspread. The next to last thing is the duvet. Then we have a white sheet. Oh, sorry, that's wrong order. I'm thinking about you guys and not putting it together here. So what I'll do, this is the fitted sheet goes next, because it's the last thing to go on the mattress, covering it up. And then the fitted sheet. And just through the years, I've kind of learned how things can go together and be the most compact. So then goes the white one. And then we've got some pillowcases here, and a lot of these sets came from America. And so it's given us those extra layers to put on the bed. The ones here, a lot of them are not very well made. They're not thick like ours. So they've got two pillowcases, a white one on the inside and then the color one on the outside. So as they open up this set, they flip these open. They know to put this one first on the pillow and then the colored one on the pillow. And then we have the white sheet that goes on the bed, then the flat sheet, then the fitted sheet, then the duvet, then the bedspread. So we're trying to make it kind of idiot-proof, if you might say. Although I went over and inspected the beds today and found one of the guys had taken the layer of white and sheet and the colored sheet, and it was about this big, covering just his butt. So I had to kind of pulled up the bed and told him to go make it correctly. That it should be covering from his shoulders down to his knees, so that we have that white, the flat sheet, and then the fitted sheet to protect our beds and mattresses. So, and then I just kind of roll them up. I'm setting them over here. So I've already got 5 done, and I've got 14 sets, 3 sets over there, so that's 17, and then I've got kind of 2 half sets. I noticed some of the ones over there were kind of mismatched, and they had like a really poor fitted sheet that didn't match the flat sheet. Hold on a second. Let me shut that door. So again, I'm just going to try and find something that kind of fits. We've got some of these twin size blankets that we use as, sorry, I'm going back and forth between the languages, bedspreads. In the duvets, we do have some very thick blankets. They're actually drying right now. I don't need to put them in these sets. We give them out by each bed, and then they take it out of the duvet and give the duvet to be washed. But nobody's using those blankets now. They're pretty thick. So let's see here. Can I maybe get a plain one? Get this one here. I think I have a black there to put them up. So kind of what I've done is I've taken the fitted sheet, the flat sheet, and then pillowcases and kind of rolled them in a set so that I can kind of know how many sets that I need to make up and how to put them together. So our guys can be a bit rough on these, you know, they're not careful, and of course these have gone through years and years of use, and that's why occasionally we kind of ask for help to get new sets. Right now I think we're doing pretty good with our sets. If we were to get a full house, then that's 8 beds, and that's 16 sets that we would need, and I have 17. So at that point we kind of need to maybe start looking for some more sheets. I did find a couple of my duvets that I need to restitch, and usually what I do is when we've got mixed match sheets, I just take 2 flat sheets and stitch them together to make the duvet. So it took me probably an hour and a half to 2 hours to get all this sorted, to get the bedspreads folded, the duvets folded, the sheets folded, matching up the sheets there, those kind of things, and then putting them together is quite a bit easier. So, just to give some insight into some of the things that we do behind the scenes, handling all the laundry. Later today, I'll be washing all the dish towels and rags from the kitchen, along with the hand towels at the menus when they wash their hands. So that's 2 different loads, whites and then colors, which I do about every week and a half, depending on how much cooking we do. Right now, because of the harvest, there's a lot of mornings, well, maybe 2 mornings a week, where I cook up rice, buckwheat, maybe mashed peas or mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes we're going to have tonight. I bake a bunch of meat, and then everything's ready, so we just pop it in the microwave. And usually there's also a soup that we do for lunch, although the guys did canned fish today on bread. Sometimes they just eat it plain, you know. So it just kind of makes things very easy for us as we go through, like the harvest right now. We did half of our potato, well, probably a fourth of our potatoes. The guys are working on the carrots right now. We're waiting for our big field to dry out a little bit more. Maybe this Saturday we'll dig the potatoes there. So just a lot of that kind of stuff that's going on right now. I need to conserve some raspberries. I conserved a whole bunch of plums a little while ago, so it's just kind of never ending, and just taking some time to do this today. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions.